Welcome back to Roots of Heaven. This is session number 9, entitled Back to the City. Last session, the group took some time murdering a dragonborn cultist of Ashmedea, the dragon queen of greed. After murdering the fellow, robbed him, of course, took all of his opera tickets, which was absolutely needed. And then they decided to go into the mine of Ryan mine and ask some questions. And they immediately were asked to assist with a matter that they didn't understand. And, quick session, whatever. They just raided, a mine and found a dragon slumbering beneath, killed it, and took all its shit. As you do in Dungeons and Dragons. Gotta throw the dragons in there sometimes. That said, you've escaped the mine. The mine foreman is very gracious. He states that if a reward is sought after, he has compiled a notice after kind of taking notes from your story of what had happened down in the mine. That was a weird burp hiccup. Anyways, notice to take back to House Serrata in Knock, and if you give that over to them, the wardens of House Serrata will determine what that would be worth in compensation. But yeah, you are still in Rhyntier's mine, the town outside of the mine proper. You're free to do whatever you want there. If there's anything you want to investigate there, I will let you know that based on the tickets, the opera will be in 8 days.
Oh, it's in 8 days? I thought it was 3.
Did I say 3?
You said 3.
I meant 8.
Okay. I will correct my notes.
He dropped off half of the 8.
Yeah.
Yep. That sounds like something I would do.
You just cut it in half.
I think I know what happened. When I sometimes try to be smart, I'll think that I don't need my notes, and then I'll say a thing. And then when I check my notes later, I'll realize the thing I said was a dumb thing that shouldn't have been said.
You just needed another backwards 3.
Yep.
Or you won't even remember of saying the wrong thing wrong before, and you'll just say a different thing without like blinking, and someone else will be like, wait, that's not what it says here, and you're like, nope, fuck it, I was wrong before, this is here in front of me.
But you know what though, I am gonna, because I know that I said 3. I knew that was the case.
Yeah.
I actually know. I took notes of the fact that if someone questions me on it, just come out and be honest. So
I love that.
Elizabeth gained inspiration.
Yay!
Catching me on my bullshit to start the session.
Yeah.
I'll
keep you in check with my notes.
But that said, and I do really respect note takers for games. It's why Andy was in so many games for a time, because he seemed like the only person who'd ever do it.
Well, when he takes such good notes to the rest
nobody does it.
He's an English teacher.
Man, that dude's notes are so good. I'm just here to play the part I gotta play.
100%. But yeah, Rhyntier's mine is open to you. Again, there's not much to it besides the mine, the Montoulet manor that you've already kind of been through, the diner, but pretty much your business here is concluded.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we won't know our reward until we get back to Knock and check in with their people, right?
Right.
Yeah,
so
House Serrata.
the foreman had stated that all treasure that you found within is yours. He said that from the onset. But he also said after the mission was kind of accomplished, he said you can take this notice to House Serrata's warden, and they'll determine if a reward is due.
Mm.
Okay. Do we have a thing? A minecart that we can
Oh yeah.
put our
Yes.
robot in?
He said he would give you that. You would also, if you look at the notice, that it does state that 2 minecarts were taken from Reinteer's mine as a portion of compensation.
Wow, stingy.
You're not from Knock, but anyone who is would know that all the houses are with the exception of one, are very thorough in their paperwork. Not because they want to be, but because House Calibor makes them be. If they don't, they'll basically be trapped in a lot of bureaucratic bullshit by them.
That just sounds like too much paperwork.
The only other family that's as paperwork driven is House Harrigan.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Who you've been into House Harrigan before when you got your licenses for your auto carriage driving.
And that was paperwork.
But yeah, if you take the better part of the rest of the afternoon, I would say the artificer, with the assistance of the very strong fighter, would be very, capable of securing the 2 minecarts to the back, so it kind of forms like a kind of a makeshift like U-Haul that can be sat upon by your shield guardian.
Great. So are we gonna go back?
Did we get a chance to do a long rest or no?
I would say if you want to take one, you can before you leave. Again,
Just so that because I think we expended some resources, right?
yeah, certainly
Sure.
for fighting the dragon. I would say that the smartest idea, even though Pointy Hat Man is gone, House Montele still has efforts here, so it might be the case that they would bug you about sleeping in your van in the town. So you might want to just pop outside of Reinteer's and then camp.
Yeah, Namalia is good with that. If everyone else is good with that.
Yeah.
I mean, Belroth is basically half dead. He's good with whatever.
He's apt at art anyway.
Fair enough.
He's just like, I just want a nap. Maybe a snack.
We gotta go to the pony show again.
Yay!
Yeah, and Namalia would have blasted off all her healing spells to get everyone back as much as possible before we hit the hay.
Okay, so I'm assuming that sounds like you went to the diner then for the night for food, and then you guys went to sleep outside in the auto carriage. Yeah, perfectly acceptable. The U-Haul system is perfect. What you will note is it would be fine for driving like on a dirt road or a field, but you know that if you kind of get into more treacherous terrain, the auto carriage might be fine, but this is not suitable for off-road travel whatsoever, because you're literally running on steel track or steel wheels, and you'd also know that it's probably not a good idea to try and drive this in the city, the auto carriage's U-Haul segment, because it'll cut up the stone.
Well, we just need to get to the city.
Yeah, that's the goal.
Then Copper can walk.
Right. So straight on to the city through that way, or do you want to go anywhere else while you're out in the field? Again, you do have 8 days.
Yeah. We got that was that lake? Citrine Tier Lake? Did we want to stop
Yes, that was an option.
there? Or just go back?
There was Sifrit's Pass that was mentioned in Knock. I believe, as far as notifications go, there's still stuff that's in the city, for sure. Specifically trying to find Kurgan Bricknose at House Harrigan, which hasn't happened yet. Death Cults in the city I'll need to expand upon. Actually, no, you haven't gotten any more information regarding that yet. We already completed the bear, or does a bear? The black sword is the one that I was referring to for Sifrit's Pass.
Oh, okay.
And then the Ashuna mission, Blade Blooded needs to be updated, which I'll do probably tomorrow. But we kind of have an idea of how those work. So yeah, Sifrit's Pass was a point of interest. Because a crazy black sword was stolen by a demon. And its necromancer army. But if you don't want to travel to Sifrit's Pass, I mean, you just want to head home, that's fine too.
I don't want to be late for the opera.
We got
But-
8 days.
Oh, we have 8 days.
I mean, we get into a lot of shenanigans, so
I know, but then it's like we all like fall into a pit and like can't get out of it for 8 days. I just like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid.
Yes, much better to leave Jai alone in the city for 8 days. No way that could go wrong.
That's true.
Look at his face. Look at the face, just like I can show your face, just like, oh no. Unless we have something better to do, but like,
Yeah, I mean, we're here. We're here.
we're already out here.
Sifrit's Pass is literally like it's an hour and a half walk.
Yeah.
It's literally like 30 minutes, 40 minutes down the road if you're driving.
Right.
Namalia is just thinking like, I have to keep these kids alive until the opera.
this fucker literally just jumped like 40
She
feet onto
gotta
a
start
dragon.
working on her fit.
Oh yeah. She might do a better
Maya.
job of keeping us together if you're all doing something right here, right now.
Herding cats, give them a tap.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
And
Laser
and
pointer.
so she's starting to notice
Yeah.
like fine lines, like worry lines around her eyes and her forehead.
she
Yeah.
needs some more balm.
Yeah, I mean, 8 days is enough for Giant Sen to come back, you know? if that's what we gotta do.
Yeah, no, let's head to Sifrit's Pass, right? Let's
Yeah.
do it.
Okay. So Sifrit's Pass actually is there's 2 towns. There's the Landing, which is kind of a small hamlet that is Hamlet on one side of the pass, and then Sifrit's Pass is actually a fortified town at the far side of the pass. The land in between is, if it's agricultural land, it's used inside of the pass, but if it's not, then it's just kind of roadway. When you get to where Landing should be, Landing's pretty much just ruined. It looks like it's been destroyed for a couple of days, possibly more, and there doesn't appear to be any remnants or anything. You do remember that your first night in Ranked Hero's Mine, you did see some people who look like refugees kind of moving out of that kind of area and heading towards Nock. Do you want to investigate Landing more than you have already from the distance?
Is there food?
There's nothing, it sounds like.
It looks like it's been completely obliterated. Looking at it from a distance, those of you who are trained in Arcana would realize that the main source of damage here looks like it was from very large explosive spells such as Fireball. I'm gonna change the
Fucking
music.
wizards, man.
Probably that same asshole.
Probably.
It's true. And there's literally like nothing left.
Well, from the distance, it doesn't look like there's much of anything. Just the kind of carcass of a town. If you'd like to investigate further, you can definitely enter into the town. But that's your choice.
Does it appear that there are like people kind of milling around in the rubble, or it's just empty?
Empty.
Ominous.
There do seem to be piles of something at certain points in the town, but from this distance you can't tell for sure what they are.
Sounds like we gotta investigate those piles.
Yeah. Make
Okay.
sure that there's no strays.
If you drive into the town, you kind of move into the town square, and there's probably maybe a dozen or so small buildings kind of around this kind of center point. It looks like it might have been a fountain, but it is kind of covered with debris and charred from bursts of flame. You come upon the very first pile that you see and realize that it's probably a dozen or so carcasses that have been stacked so that they're kind of in a circle with all of their heads kind of on top of one another in the middle, and there's a lance through the skulls of all of the heads, almost as if it's kind of like a sick pinwheel of people kind of spread eagle and out from this lance in the middle.
That's not very nice.
All burned, all very much unrecognizable.
Nope.
Okay, so they're burned too.
Mm-hmm.
What a
Lanced
mess.
through the heads and burned. Okay.
Does this have a religious significance?
You can make a religion check.
19?
So you are familiar with cultists of death, kind of following either Allowane or like the pure raw destruction of chaos of Ashtar. Ashtar's symbol is kind of like a pointed wheel. This looks like it's very much kind of a gruesome indicator of the chaos aspect of Ashtar. Or not Ashtar, sorry. Chaos aspect of Atavius. My brain did a dumb thing.
So there's maybe a connection between this, like, this kind of practice and the death cults in the city.
So it could be. With that religion check and looking at this, like that would probably be your kind of go-to, but you're not 100% sure.
Okay, got it. Namalia would definitely share that with the group.
Okay. As Namalia is kind of talking about the circumstance, everyone kind of hears a loud crash. There's like a small looking little building. It looks like the roof kind of just fell in as Namalia was talking.
Yeah, I have my sword out now.
Shing!
With it.
Okay. Paranoid and cautious, you kind of move around to it, and you just realize that it seems to have been caught by gravity and the elements, and it finally came to fall apart. It's literally nothing, but the building that seems to have been, your focus here because of this crushing, looks like it might have been a tavern. It looks like it might have also been built on a stone foundation. Kind of looking at it, it looks like it might, whatever's underneath might have been spared any damage from the flames.
Do we spot like a trapdoor or anything?
You can make an investigation check if you want to focus someone to the task who, might be more sleuthy. Is that
I'm
a
not
word?
sleuthy.
The most
I have a-
sleuth?
I have a 3 to investigation. You have a 1?
I have an 8.
I'm not
Nice.
sleuthy.
Hold on, let me give you guidance.
I only have an 8.
Okay. So, guidance for an extra d4, and does anybody have training in investigation?
No.
Okay. If not, no one. You can only help in this instance if you have training in it. So if that's the case, then Abilene would be making an investigation roll, and then roll a d4, Zizo.
Does the D4 matter?
It could. It actually could potentially do something.
Jesus.
Shit.
Okay. So you are able to find where you would presume there to be a trapdoor. With the assistance of Belroth and Copper, you're able to kind of move out a large portion that just had fallen that kind of fell over the bar area, and behind it is kind of like a small little larder and also kind of storage area. And inside of that chamber, you find the floor. Whatever trapdoor was present has kind of been burnt to nothingness, and you're able to kind of break through into what appears to be a stairwell down into a stone understructure.
I go down.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go down.
All right. Belroth, it is dark down here, but your vision very quickly acclimates. You have dark vision, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's right. And as everyone's falling behind, it is quite dark. You come to realize that the room that you're entering into is only about 20 by 20. Not the full kind of size of the building above you. It looks like there are probably about 6 very large kegs of something on the north wall. On the south wall, you see about 20 bottles kind of on wooden, those kind of spring racks you kind of hang on walls, if you're familiar with those kind of wine racks. And it looks like there is a strange kind of nature to the wall that would be west of you, kind of leading further into the pass if it were able to extend. The wall is solid, but there's a stone archway built over it, built on it, almost as if there was a door there and it got filled in, or there's some sort of secret door there, or something about it is strange. It's like someone built a door frame and set it against a wall, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Belleroth, you want to punch it?
Right.
Just bulldoze that shit.
Yeah, I guess he just starts pushing on it, just to see how sturdy, if it's
Very solid. You are keen enough to understand that this is absolutely 100% a solid stone wall. And behind it, probably somewhere 2 feet in, dirt and rock from the surrounding ground. There don't appear to be any tricks or traps.
Okay. Jai is going to walk up to the door and just doom, 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 and see if knock works.
Okay. When you cast the spell knock, you'll see that the archway glows. Kind of glows as if there was a door to be opened. For a second, you can see a faint kind of transition on the stone wall, kind of shimmer shine, almost as if there's something beyond it. But then it just kind of goes faint. And as you're kind of looking at it, you can make an Arcana check. You don't understand what's happening here, but you definitely know it's conjuration and portal magic, which is well beyond your ability.
Can't say I didn't try.
I would say that the obvious would be clear, though. This is a door, but it's not just a single door. It's 2 doors that connect. You opened one, you didn't open the other.
Can I open the second one with another knock spell?
It's well out of range.
Got it. Tried it.
Sorry. It's this fucking arcane fuckery. Is the physical door that we can see still seems closed, or that's the one?
So it's literally just stones built into kind of a portal way.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's where a door would be, but it's just kind of like they put the archway against the wall. It's not even built into the wall. Like, if you wanted to, you could pull it down if you wanted. Might break the magic, but you could.
Yeah, I think we better not punch the wall.
No?
I don't think that would be helpful.
Oil sport.
Would it be entertaining?
I mean, it probably would be. Probably would be.
I don't think we want to damage what's going on here before we fully know what's going on.
I mean, is it not already damaged? The rest of the town.
By proxy, it's damaged.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's in the barrels? Is it ale? Is it wine?
The barrels on the wall have ale in it. From what you can tell, it's not very good.
Oh.
Oh.
Basically, try and think of like for an in-game kind of like like a real life analogy. Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's
You
Pabst
can just
Blue
say
Ribbon.
it's Keystone Light. You can just say it's Keystone Light.
Right, I was
it's not
gonna
that-
say
it's not that
I was
bad.
gonna go Keystone.
It's not that bad.
Oh,
It's
it's
not-
not that bad. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
okay.
not Keystone bad. It's not Kirkland bad. It is just.
It's like Paps, like this'll pass because
Yeah.
I'm in a bind and I'm having a float party on the river.
Right. You could drink
No
it.
one else. Yeah,
It's drinkable.
yeah. You just
Someone
gotta
else-
already be
Someone else
drunk to
gave
drink
this
it.
to me.
Yeah, it was free.
They just handed
The
me the
frat-
solo cup.
Yeah, the frat boys brought it.
Don't
Oh,
drink it out of the
They handed me
solo
a
cup.
solo cup. I tasted it. Oh yeah, that's fucking PBR right there.
It's
uh,
the shit they serve at theater parties.
Oh my god, yes.
Beer pong.
dude, it was
What?
Beer pong.
always juice all
Yeah.
the time at every theater party I did.
Oh my god. Well, I just mean like the kegs. They would buy like the cheapest keg.
Oh yeah, of course, because nobody was drinking the kegs; they were all drinking the juice. Have you
Oh,
watched Theater
absolutely.
Kids?
You got a wall. There's a wall.
Anyways, the
What are you doing with the
wall.
The bottles of wine look like they're significantly more valuable than the very plain beer that you sipped.
Okay. So we put those in
Someone-
the truck.
Does have a bag of holding.
There's about 12
That too.
bottles.
Here you go, Jai.
About 7 of them are of an elvish
Oh.
vintage.
I know what the next 8 days are going to be for me.
You would see that they have
So
kind of
sorry, Nabal.
a very stylized kind of label on them. It looks like they were each hand painted, but they were all kind of painted the same. It appears to be a very pale elvish woman with bright blue hair and a massive longbow, kind of shooting an arrow, and the tip of the arrow appears to be like a snowflake. It does have religious connotation, and everyone's able to kind of catch on to it because it's a pretty important religion. The elvish tradition, the Council of Seasons, one of the Lachey, one of the most powerful of the council, the Witwiaven. This woman is known as Talvi Madramic. She is the essence of winter, the huntress.
Can you repeat her name?
Talvi Medramic.
Okay.
They look like they're really nice bottles, and the presumption is that they probably were bottled by the Hariv Enclave, the Winter Elf Enclave up near Blackavon Lake. The other bottles are pretty much pointless, kind of, decently fancy, but nothing crazy. And then the last one actually causes, if Aveline and Sen both look at it, to kind of look at each other with kind of knowing glances. The Wizard of Winery.
We know them.
I was wondering.
They don't exist in this plane of existence.
They
Oh.
don't. Those guys. That was some good wine.
It was some good wine.
Take that. Personal stash.
But yeah,
And it's just one.
just one bottle. Wizard of Winery. Which
Something's been
Display that.
traveling.
Gulthias's Dread Plane.
Mm-hmm.
Just like PTSD flashback.
I hope the Raven people are okay.
Made
Oh,
some good
gosh.
friends there.
Hmm. Oh god, sends flashback to witches.
Oh, the witches.
God.
Good times. But yeah, the bottle is in perfect condition. It does look like it's quite a bit old though.
Mm.
Is there any clue as to who lived here before or what this building was? Oh, you
Yeah.
said what it was. A tavern.
It was a tavern, like a tap room actually. It doesn't look like anybody stayed in Sifford's Pass, or sorry, Landing. It looked mainly like just like a tap room where people who, after working a long day, would come drink with their friends and then be on their
Any
way.
clue as to like who owns it?
Nothing down here. It doesn't look like there's any paperwork or anything like that. And upstairs, everything looked like it was pretty much reduced to cinder or ash. So, not so much.
We may need to do a little more, maybe asking around.
To those dead
Maybe-
bodies.
Oh, I mean, if you want to actually ask questions, we can do that. If
Oh
anyone have a mouth.
no, but
They're
they're
burned. They're fine. No.
If they have a mouth that opens and closes,
But there's-
that's the only them's the only rules.
but they're skewered in a
Your
really
mouth needs to open
creepy,
and
gross
close.
way.
Them's the only rules.
I mean, not
Ask 5 questions.
I have
The
no mouth, but I
needs
must
to-
scream.
Right. We don't have to ask, how do you feel right now?
Because they
Don't
can't
need
actually
to-
That
feel
would be a
anything.
waste.
Because they
of
don't.
question.
They're unable to experience anything beyond the scope.
so
of
they don't
their
feel
death.
pain. if
No,
you
it
bring them
is.
back?
It is literally. You're not reanimating the corpse.
Okay.
You are awakening the spirit of whatever vessel that was to ask it questions that it could have only experienced during its lifetime. It is unable to experience in the present or anything that occurred from the time of its death to the present. So if like someone grabbed its body and strung it onto the thing, it can't answer that. But if someone shot it in the face with an arrow, it can say, I saw this arrow coming at me from this guy, and then black.
So it's like a
'Cause that's-
recorder.
Yeah.
Yes, I can click the spell if you want to read the actual description.
So
but
Malika, like, so
It's
she
not
show-
it's not you're not like bringing a spirit back into the body. You're not like doing any necromancy or anything like that. Like,
Shisho is.
Oh, Shisho is
I mean,
well.
kind
I
of
mean, to be
necromancy,
fair,
but,
it
like-
is a necromancy spell.
yeah, but like not like it's not like
Necromancy,
it's like
necromancy.
it's like softcore versus hard.
Yeah.
necromancy
No, I
light.
agree. Agree.
Like,
It's not fungal
everybody's
zombies.
got everything below
It's
the
not
waist
fungal
covered.
zombies.
It's fine.
I think like I'm like disturbed and triggered by that visual of like the skewered skulls.
Sorry.
But I think Malika is like very curious and all in.
Okay.
So I think it might be a really good idea if Jai is up
So
for
we
it.
just need to come up with like 5 questions that we want to ask this.
Jonah
thing.
says necromancy is still necromancy. Burn the heretic.
If you go back outside and head over to one of the pinwheels, the gruesome pinwheels, it's very easy to kind of dismantle. It's actually even easier if you just have the shield guardian pull the lance out, and then the bodies kind of fall to their sides. Yeah, the one that's closest to the tavern is probably the most likely to have someone who knows about the tavern. To be fair.
Yep.
That is fair.
Question: Namalia has one question: is who owned the tavern?
We're talking about necromancy, and you think you're playing your necromancer from Friday? Is that what's happening, Zisa?
Yes.
Because you keep saying.
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh goodness.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, it sounds like Namalia wants to discuss the questions before the spell is cast. Is that right?
Yes, that's a good idea. Because we only have 5 questions, right?
Well, now
Okay.
we have
5
4.
questions.
Well,
Now we have
4.
4.
Yes, 4.
It's used to.
Okay, so
Well, no,
who owned the tavern? Who
Well-
did this?
I mean, we don't have to commit to that, but I think it's.
The spell hasn't been cast yet, so you can
That's
Yeah,
that's what we're doing
Where
right
does
now.
the
Yeah,
door,
yeah.
Where
Yeah.
does the door go?
All on board.
Sorry,
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
I
door.
was the only one.
Second question was what? Sorry. Jai like pulls out a notebook and he's like, okay. So who owned the tavern? And the next question. Keep them coming, keep them coming.
How does that door work?
I don't know if a rando person on the street would know that.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know if they'll be able to answer that one. I mean, unless
We
if
can
So
they
all
have
the
put it on the
bodies
list
are
and
burned. We
cut
can't
it
really
off later,
necessarily determine anything about their profession.
what?
Yeah,
Well, if it's the guy, if it's or the person who owned the tavern that we end up getting, then we can ask what the door
So-
is.
And my question though is is there any way to determine anything about the people, like their profession, or are they like that?
You can
badly
ask them
burned?
anything. They will
Well,
remember
no.
everything from there.
No. She's
Well,
asking a different
owner.
question, and I'm answering it by telling
Sorry.
her that Belroth can go ahead and make a perception or an investigation check, your choice.
I'm just gonna try and pick.
Wait, guidance.
Oh yeah.
Pick a good body.
Oh,
nice.
Wait.
Belroth, yeah, go ahead and throw the d4 as well.
Just in case, you never know. A 2. We'll take your 2.
So, Belroth being kind of like a working fellow, he's been a mercenary for some time, but he's also had to pay attention to people in the city because mercenary work sometimes entails, being aware and being, seeing things that are outside of where they're supposed to be. You would note that one of the bodies has a much more kind of feminine kind of remnant to it. And you would notice that the shoe wear, though burnt and charred, does appear to be someone who is working in a place that would be very slippery or sticky would want to wear. Whereas all the other shoes appear to be like hard-working kind of leather boots that you'd wear out in the field.
Okay, he would point at that body and be like, "That one. You want to talk to that one?"
great.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Okay.
So what's the door?
Yeah.
What's
does
up
it-
with the door?
How does that door work? I believe.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that-
How does
Well,
the
I
door
think
work?
I like what's up with the door because it's more open-ended.
Yeah, they can
Yeah.
explain it.
What's up with the door?
Oh yeah.
Tell me.
Because then you're getting into like the specifics, like
Depending on the
Very
essence
What's
that
up
you're
with that door?
depending on the essence that you're asking, they don't have to answer the questions directly. Like they
Right.
try to offer a truthful answer. They
Right.
don't try and hesitate or anything, but they will be brief, possibly cryptic if it's something that they wouldn't like answer like fully. So, if you ask what's with the door, then
It's a door.
that's fair.
you'll want to be kind of specific
Where
with
does
the
the door
question.
go?
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where does the door go?
In the basement go.
Yeah.
See, I was thinking like a therapist instead of an investigator.
That's fair. That's fair.
In therapy, people will typically want to answer your questions, or they will try and answer in a lie. But in investigation, it's more often than not that it's going to be obscured.
Right.
Unless you're
Okay,
playing LA Noir for the 100th time, and you already know what buttons. That's not this. So, questions.
Kind
Okay,
of
so we
at
got 2.
2.
What happened? Was
Kind
that
of
one of
nailed
them?
down the language on 2. I guess.
Where does the door go?
Where does the door in the basement go?
Yeah.
Or
Got
the
it written down.
archway?
Yep. I
Yeah.
got that.
Okay. I think Steph, what were you had something?
Like what happened here? Was that one of them we were thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you want what happened here? Or what happened to you?
Or
How did you die?
What, yeah.
How did you die? That's a good one.
Or who caused the destruction, maybe?
Well, do we want to know who did it or how it happened?
No, I guess.
I think we
Probably
who
wanna
killed
know
you?
who.
we want to know who it was.
Hmm.
So, do you know who killed you?
Not do you know?
Nah,
Not do you
because
know?
that'll get an
then it'll be
yes or
everyday
no.
That's a
Yeah,
yes or no
so
question.
the-
Yeah.
Who killed you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who killed? Okay.
Do you know who killed you? Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Who was that? Fuck you. Try it, man.
Are you talking to the corpse or are you talking to your fellow player?
Both.
Fair.
Everything,
All of
nothing. Mostly myself, if I'm being honest. It was
Okay.
directed to me. I just didn't get the mute fast enough. So we have 3 questions.
Two more.
Uma.
Oh well, can we how long does the spell run?
10
Oh.
minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about this? Those are our 3 like base questions, and then we have 2 follow-ups that will depend on whatever the responses are.
Okay.
Does that sound like
Do
a plan?
you want to discuss possible follow-ups? Like,
Okay.
what if he says, like, who owned the tavern? Me.
Who the
What
fuck
do you
are
want the follow-up? Yeah, like, is that what you want the follow-up question to be? Because now we need to do these in an order. Right?
I mean, does it
I
matter
guess-
if we know who owned the
Yeah.
tavern? Like,
Well, I mean, because the reason I want to know who owned the tavern is so that we know who to like ask questions about, right? And investigate about them in the community and figure out like who were they, what were their connections, so that we
Okay.
can have an idea of what this is.
I see.
Yeah.
So what follow-up questions do you want when you get the answer, who owned the tavern? Like, what are you trying to pursue? Or are you trying to pursue that any further than that? I
I don't think so. I mean, I think that's like just the main, like if they say, oh, it's me, I'm the owner, then, maybe we can ask, what is your name? So that we have a name to kind of suss out later.
Hmm. Well, I think our 2 main objectives is who did this so that we can figure out who we need to be after, because
Hmm.
they're probably involved in the case in question with the demon attacks. And then they might have, whoever did this might have the relic, Severed Sword. So we need to know that mainly, but then also we need to know where that door goes to, because it may or may not be involved. Right?
Okay, so then
Yeah.
like if they say I own the tavern,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can also ask like,
Where the door goes.
yeah,
Because if they own the tavern, then they should know where the door goes,
yeah.
in theory. If they don't know where the door goes, then
John is just like, what the
Maybe.
fuck?
Would they know, like,
What the fuck is happening?
No. Go.
Okay.
would they know who does know stuff about the door? Because then maybe we could cast another, if the body is somewhere, we could like I don't know.
just keep summoning spirits until we find a clue.
How many spells? I can cast
reading.
this 3 times. We can ask 15 questions.
I mean, that's a good amount of questions.
So I think I'm good with follow-ups. So if anyone else wants to add follow-ups, or plan any follow-up questions.
No, I think Bella just wants to know who actually killed the people here so that he can kill them.
We could always ask if they knew about the cultists. Or
What do you know about the cultists?
Yeah. And maybe should we also ask about Siford's sword?
Do you want me to ask specifically the question, what do you know about the cultists?
The Death Cultists, maybe? I don't know.
About the
Or maybe,
Death Cultists?
Yeah. Maybe. Does that
We're,
sound dumb?
we're asking if they know who, like, if they killed, like, who killed them. And if they give that answer, we can maybe follow up with, what do you know about them? Because I'm assuming it's some sort of death cultist that killed them. So
I mean, that's what's been going on around here.
I mean,
lately.
They did some fucking death cultist,
defiling of bodies.
Art.
Shish kebab.
Yeah. Well, because it's the you said it was the chaos of Atavius, right?
Could be that, or could be a symbol of the death cult of Halloween.
Okay. Don't bring Halloween into this again. No.
Chaos cults are more about destruction, not so much just death. Halloween is mostly about the death part. It could also, again, in hindsight, the 19 was just shy of knowing for sure. But it could also mean the evil aspects of Ashtar, which would be in line with demons. So, unfortunately, a circle is a very vague symbol.
Yeah.
Can I also ritual cast comprehend languages? Just in case this fucking thing doesn't speak something I fucking speak.
Yeah.
And then I fucked up real bad.
He's green.
Okay, so like, Jai's gonna sit down and ritual cast. Comprehend languages. And then once that's done, are we ready? No?
Maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm good. Let's go.
Let's just do it.
Let's do it.
We fuck it up, we'll do it again.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So I cast the spell.
The body, which does have kind of a lance wound kind of through the front of the face and out the back of the head. You watch as it kind of fills with essence. Its mouth kind of opens as if breathing. And one of the eyes doesn't seem capable of opening any longer. And the other one opens to kind of look at you. Pale white eye staring at you.
I ask, who killed you?
I was killed by the servants of Akane, the lascivious slayer.
The what slayer?
Posting.
Oh.
Yay.
Lascivious.
Oh, I spelled it right too.
It basically means horny.
Yes, it does.
You can make a religion check after hearing that word.
Who? Anyone?
Who has the highest religion?
Or history
I got
check.
8. Oh, I got 8 in religion
Okay.
and history.
Steph, let me give you guidance.
Okay.
Any roll of guidance will get you to the DC. Akane is the name of, since you went history, is the name of a woman who lived in Seiryu during the Third Era, during what was known in Seiryujin history as the Time of the Legends. She was an assassin. She was a very competent combatant. But when her beloved married instead another woman named Baiken Musame, she was basically heartbroken and felt there was no recourse in her life but to kill. She did not kill her rival. She did not kill her former love. She just killed, feeling that a number dead would suffice. According to the histories, she took pleasure, a very disgusting pleasure, and that's basically how it's described in the Seiryujin histories, to a point where she left the plane of mortals and entered the plane of sin. According to your more religious connection to that, you would know that Akane is one of the 3 sisters that are going to be featured in the opera soon.
Hey!
Along with 2 others. Akane, Irith, the Amative Eminence, and Phi, the Concupiscent Priestess.
I love
Known collectively as the Magier Sisters.
So wait. When did you say this that she lived?
During the Third Age.
Yeah.
So thousands of years ago.
Oh, okay. So that's weird.
Yeah. Known as the Time of Legends.
According to Seiryujin, yeah.
Yeah.
Does Evelyn share that?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay.
And you would remember during your studies, Akane was often featured, seen with a bright red and black parasol.
She was a style icon.
She was
cool.
Clearly.
Queen.
Iconic.
Okay, that's question number 1.
What was the next one?
Who owns the tavern?
What was it?
Yeah.
Um,
Tavern.
Who owned the tavern?
Me. Gail Ephraim.
Gail Ephraim?
Mhm.
Okay.
Does that name mean anything?
No.
I don't think so.
We love a Gale, though.
Sure.
Where does the door in the basement go?
To the fort's fortification.
Do you want to ask like what?
How do you open it?
Thank you.
Speak the name of the hero to step through.
What is the name of the hero?
Sifford. After you ask that question, her body kind of goes limp, falls back to the ground as the life kind of fades from it. The eye remains open.
Close.
Now all
that.
we need to do is find a plant for me to talk to, and I'm
Yeah,
not
just-
wasted by spell choices.
There aren't many plants around that seem to have survived.
It's fine.
like
I
a
think
random
I pulled one off
potted
good. Let's just call it.
If you'd like to make a survival check, you could try and find a living plant.
You want to ask more questions?
Are we gonna
I mean,
ask
I
a
think-
plant?
I mean, I'm trained in survival.
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh,
Ooh,
I got
it.
There is literally a single bit of ivy that still grows on the back end of the tavern.
Of course, it's Ivy.
Nasty little.
Man,
So we can learn anything about it in the past day.
when did this go down?
Maybe a couple of days ago.
It wouldn't have the memory to be able to answer the question.
Oh shit.
So then it's not
Goldfish
worth the spell
memory.
slot.
Because you've long rested twice since it would have happened.
Yeah.
Dang.
But something to keep in mind for the future.
It's
You
true.
find a plant, you find an animal, you find a dead body. Doesn't matter. Jai's gonna have a conversation with it. Hey, how you doing?
He's a talker.
That's what I do. Just
Uh,
like to learn things about people through
How you
conversation.
doing? How's the wife? How's the
This
kids?
is how we make connections.
Yeah.
As I had mentioned, you would know the kind of connection that's kind of happening here. Siffert's Pass, the actual proper portion, the fortified town, is at the far side of this ravine, this canyonway, the pass itself. And it's a little bit bigger than Landing, but Landing is gone. And you would know that you could just walk there, or apparently you can move through this door now.
I like how the password is just Siford.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a
We might
1,
have-
2, 3, 4, 5
We might have
situation.
Yeah.
accidentally said it.
My
You know?
password is password.
Like, man, this Sifford's pass really sucks. Opens up the door.
Could have happened. Nobody said it while you were down there.
Oh.
Now
You gotta find
just
a
need to
different
start
sword.
randomly saying the location of where we are, just in case magic doors open. Oh, knock!
He's never gonna do it again. Knock knock.
Oh, knock! 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
What?
That's
Five.
amazing. That's my password.
You're gonna have to make one of them open sesame. I think
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
next one.
Every time I hear the word open sesame, I'm just reminded of Hellsing. So I can't really think on it. I don't know if you've watched that show at all or not.
I rewatched it recently.
Yeah, the part where he's walking towards these military guys and he shoves his 2 guns into the elevator door and pulls them open and says open sesame and kills them all because he's a bad person. Anyways, moving on to good people, you guys
Hey.
down
Close
into,
enough.
down into the basement.
Oh wait, did we rest? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you would have
We
long
did.
rested.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was slick.
Sin is paying back their bear.
Mhm. Now you would have known that the bear would have come this way to get to the Breve Enclave. This is the only way
Oh,
through
it's true.
the mountains.
You better not have killed Nodder.
I did not kill Nodder.
Yay.
I would never forgive you.
I did
Right.
not kill Nodder yet.
No.
There's plenty of time for him to come back and fuck up.
If I'm gonna kill that fucking bear, I'm gonna do it to David's face.
That's fair. That's
100%.
fair.
That's
He's
what I'm
got to do
saying.
it himself.
Plenty of time for him to come back and us to TPK.
He blunts so much damage. Like I don't think I could.
I think he almost died during our
Mm.
campaign before.
Yeah,
I think that
not
was early on.
not like Sen almost died though.
Oh. Not sin
Like-
level. Not sin level of death.
How many times? I've lost track of how many times
It's a lot.
Sin almost died.
Twice so far in our campaign.
So the
Yeah,
basement.
but I mean, like, I'm talking about death saving rolls kind of die.
So the
I haven't done
basement.
any. Yes, basement.
Do you guys want to go in there or investigate any further?
I'm
On
ready
it.
to open that freaking door. If someone's
Open
stopping me, someone stop me. But like,
Okay. And the 12 bottles of
Sifford.
wine, as I recall, were placed inside of the auto carriage. And I'm assuming that Copper is being set to guard the auto carriage at this point, right?
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great.
He's too young to drink, though.
He's also too big to get through this portal door.
I mean, yes, but he's guarding the wine.
He is baby.
He is baby. He no drink. No drinky copper. You
So
only get
excited for
oil.
one of these times for us to like fuck off and go on our own adventure for a few hours and come back and there's just like 15 dead like body parts of goblins and it's just like
And Copper's just chilling.
They tried to take
He's just sitting there all cute.
Like, covered in blood, just like not even like sitting back on top of the cart in sentinel mode. Just like
He found a puppy. I
nothing
don't know.
happened. It's fine.
You say the word, right?
Mhm.
Different.
You watch as the door forms and creates kind of a space beyond. It looks like it's leading into another basement. The basement on the other side seems to be almost identical to the one you're in, except that there's 2 walls with kegs on them. And there's a staircase that seems to kind of go up in a different direction than the staircase you kind of came down into the room. And it's the one that, like, if I was looking from the other side, I'd be able to see up the staircase that you came down. But this one seems to kind of jaunt off the side of the basement it's in. The other thing you notice is that on the wall opposite of the door that you're creating, you can see what appears to be a human in mostly a state of, duress. It looks like they've been stapled to the wall opposite you.
Oh.
And they seem to notice that the door is opened and are kind of looking at you as if they are sentient enough to understand what's happening here.
Are we already through?
No, you haven't stepped through yet.
Oh, well, I'm going to go on through.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. Everyone else?
Also
Yeah,
follow.
why not?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. After about a minute
They go home.
of you kind of wandering into the place, the door behind you would kind of close, but nothing crazy happens. The guy stapled to the wall is kind of looking at you. One of his eyes looks like it's kind of bludgeoned shut, like there's kind of a purple kind of bruising to it. And again, content warning. Sorry, we're getting into traumatic demon shit. So if I go too far, just stop me. I will dial back. But
Okay.
that said, bludgeoned, kind of, puffy eye, one good eye kind of looking at you. When his mouth kind of opens in exasperation, you can see that several of his teeth are kind of broken and chipped. And it looks like his hands and legs are kind of stapled to the wall. It doesn't look like they intended to pierce flesh or like cut through it, but there are kind of sharp scars on like the points where the staple would have hit. And he seems to be trying to talk. But if you've ever been to the dentist and just kind of have that weird kind of mashed mouth, it doesn't look like he's capable. You can make an insight check if you'd like to try and get an idea of what he might be saying, or based on his the way he's acting, what he might be trying to convey.
Does my comprehend languages not allow me
There's
to...
no language being spoke
Okay.
here.
Is there
Just
any way
wondering.
to is there any way to fix him up? Like, can we help him out a little bit?
If you'd like to try and cure him, yeah, you can.
Okay.
Do we even know who he is, though?
I'm in dice jail.
Looking at his attire, if you're looking at him, Belroth, you'd actually be the one who quickly notifies that he's wearing House Serrata garb. Looks like he is a sentinel, one of the people who would guard the town.
Okay. Yeah, we help him.
But
Okay.
Sifford, yeah, and we know that
Sif-
Sifford's pass has fallen.
Mhm.
Let-
So, okay, so I'm gonna give him a good old healing word.
As you kind of do, you see him kind of like, well, he's still on the wall. Do you pull him off?
Yeah.
Okay. The staples come out well enough, and when he kind of comes to being healed, you see like a bit of his wounds kind of patch up, but he starts kind of like grasping his jaw and mutters with still broken teeth. He says, "They know you're here. If you can get back out the way you came in, we'd best be moving. They can see what I see. If you want to leave me behind because of it, I understand. But if you'll take me with you, I'll go."
Just blindfold him.
Does anyone have like a dispel magic kind of thing? Is that a thing in 5e?
Dispel magic is a spell you can cast, yeah, but if you don't have it prepared.
Ah,
Look
Jay.
at yay!
All I do is cast the magic you want. I want to ask a question of someone.
I got
Hold on
you.
a second.
I want
So-
to dispel magic.
You're
I got
casting
you.
Dispel
Very
magic.
specific spells.
Are you casting Dispel magic on him?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a d20.
You got this. No dice jail.
And your spellcasting modifier is higher than a 1?
Spell casting modifier
It's
is
higher
I have
than a
a
one.
+5. Yeah.
So it's higher than a 1. Okay.
Yeah.
You see a spell kind of take hold, like you can actually see it as it's being kind of thwarted, that's around his head and kind of focused in his eye. And as the spell kind of like becomes dissipated, it kind of breaks out from him and his head. And at about that moment, you hear a loud sound as what appears to be a trap door from that staircase is being opened.
And I shoot him with the
I think now
crossbow.
we all run.
I'm gonna get my sparky hands going.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh, she a firecracker.
Yeah,
that
Malka will
50
say
plus 2 longsword that we got from the dragon.
we'll hold him down. We'll hold him back. Y'all get him out of here.
Okay. As you kind of, back towards the portal way, once you get there, what do you do?
Say landing.
Nothing happens.
Sifford?
The door opens, and you can see beyond to the other side. You also hear footfall inside of the chamber, but you see no one come down.
Oh, are they invisible? Like,
That's spooky.
Namalia pops off of fairy fire.
Okay. You then see a form appear in front of you. Fortunately, I don't have it drawn quite yet, but you see this form appear as this entity counters the spell that you're casting. As she stands there before you, you can see that the top of her head is nearly touching the ceiling of this 10-foot high basement. Her body is completely unclothed, with the exception of these strange kind of armor-clad like scales that have come up around different parts of her body. Coming off of the right side of her back is what appears to be a wing, but with no leathery connections, and a massive blade at its top, a scythe-like blade. And in her other hand, she's holding a massive sword, which seems to be made out of flesh, and the blade made out of bone, sharpened to a razor's edge. And her hand free, throwing up the dispel, she looks at you and she says, "Thank you for the secret." And you all back into the portal way, and she just kind of stands there watching you escape. It stands there for a minute. The portal way is kind of held there, and you're just looking across it, and she doesn't move on you. She just stands there.
Oh, we never asked how to close it.
maybe it'll close on its own. I don't want to say how it closes because
A minute later, it closes.
Yay.
And then
Yeah,
it opens
no,
again.
I don't do that.
Ah!
Yeah.
Then it opens again. You don't do that, sorry. It closes. What do you do before it closes? Sorry.
Can I fire my crossbow?
Yeah, you can.
Right.
Ugh.
Balroth,
Yeah.
punch it.
Right.
Okay. You fire the crossbow, it hits her.
Throw a hand axe through.
You do see that she appears to be wounded slightly by it, but it doesn't seem to go through her flesh. It just kind of hits it, kind of leaves like a scratch, and the bolt kind of breaks and dissipates into nothing as it's formed from nothing. It looks like she's apparently resistant to that damage.
No.
But she just waits, unconcerned, and then what are the rest of you doing during that time before it shuts?
I got my sword out and I'm kind of like positioning myself in between the party and this giant naked lady.
Okay, gonna pop off a moonbeam like in the doorway.
Okay. Now, because you're creating it in 2 different spaces.
Let's say it's like on our side of the doorway.
No. Okay, that's what I was going to ask. Basically, once it's severed, it's going to kind of create like there's no longer a connection. So it's like if you're putting it on your side of the door, it'll be kind of up against the wall, and when it shuts, like it'll just be kind of glancing against the wall, and then if it reopens, it'll kind of spill out back into it.
Okay.
She's again not moving. Doesn't seem to be terribly concerned. Anyone else doing anything before the door shuts?
No, I don't think there's any point.
Do you want to? You can retreat out the way you came in. You don't have to stay down here in the basement.
Oh, are we not already doing that? Were you guys going? Like what?
Yeah, if y'all want to retreat, I'll stay back and like bring up the rear.
Yeah, I think Nemalia would stay with Balroth and kind of push the rest of y'all to take the wounded dude up into the van.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and take him and go, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with you.
Okay. And Nemalia, you're staying behind, you said?
With Balroth.
Yeah,
Until everyone's out of the basement, and we'd follow up, I think, right?
Yeah.
She, as you're kind of fleeing, you see her kind of cross her arms. The sword just floats in space next to her as she's waiting.
Well, that's spooky.
Just before the door closes, you hear footfalls behind her, and it shuts. A moment later, it opens again, and she's standing there with 2 other seemingly tall women.
Oh no.
One of them is holding what appears to be a censer filled with green smoke billowing out. Her
shit!
It's Vi!
has massive bladed wings. She looks like a very traditional succubus, but with very priestly garments on, and the censer, as mentioned. And then the other woman that's present there appears to be kind of crouched down lower, but even at a crouched stance, she's still about 5 feet, 6 feet tall. And she has 4 arms. Her top arms are massive, like mantis blades, and her lower hands are clawed, kind of like feral hands. The second the portal opens, are you standing your ground? I'm gonna get a comment.
No, we're fleeing up out of that basement.
Okay.
Well, at this point, Nemalia is.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So you would hear kind of magic happening outside, or behind you, and as you're kind of rushing up, I'm assuming it at haste, right? Or are you just trying to keep an eye on your back? Like, what's your pace? What's your speed here? Are you wanting to book it? Are you running as fast as you can, or are you trying to kind of keep an eye on what's behind you?
Nah, we're booking it, right, Balroth?
Yeah.
Let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
Get your fucking tentacles up these stairs. Let's go.
Just like dive into the back of the van.
Okay.
Go, 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 go.
And as you kind of like rush that way, the Shield Guardian and Terry are kind of like, waiting for you. You actually see Terry
I
rush
forgot
to
about Terry.
front and start the car for you to make sure it's ready and good to go. You all hop into the vehicle just as you see the 4-armed one rushing out, kind of moving on all 6 limbs.
She's
chasing after the vehicle as you kind of start driving off.
No.
Who would be the last one on board? Belroth, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma saving throw.
Oh no.
Fuck. My best one, guys.
Natural 20 always wins. Natural 20 always wins. Fortune favors.
Wow.
You see her kind of like stop behind the vehicle as it's moving, and her eyes kind of like focus in on you. They turn bright green for a second, and Belroth, you literally see in your eyes like a very quick flash, like sudden kind of flashes. Whatever Belroth would be aroused by, whatever Belroth would enjoy in a like carnal sense, flashes through Belroth's eyes. You very quickly kind of stoically close your eyes and then open them again, focusing on the reality, and you see her kind of like stand up and her limbs kind of fold in as she kind of takes the form of what you were imagining, and the car drives off.
I see.
Belroth said, "Not today."
Not today, Satan! Right? But really, no, they call me.
Wait, no. Be gone, thought.
Be gone, thought.
Be gone, thought.
I am a man of God.
The old,
Yes.
I do not wish to be horny anymore.
He bonked himself into horny jail.
Anyways, you are moving at a pretty quick pace in the auto carriage. It doesn't seem like you're having any issues. You're on a dirt road, heading back out towards Rhintier's mine, and then beyond on to Knock and such. Go ahead and give me 1d20 roll for random encounter sake.
Who doing it? Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
No problems. Random encounters you want to roll low. So, you drive past Rhintier's mine, past the Erdelots Ranch, and you're back in Knock, or outside of Knock, rather, within a couple of hours.
Wait, did we take that dude with us?
Yeah, he is in the
Oh,
vehicle
great.
with you.
We can take him home.
During the drive, since you do have a bit of a drive going on.
I shall name him Steve.
Well, he has a name.
It's Steve now.
He's got a new name now.
We saved you. We get to name you.
That's how it works for Aveline.
It's like the freshman that gets adopted by a bunch of seniors. I don't care what you used to be called. This is what we're calling you.
We're gonna call you Socks now. So,
Just because he wears mismatched socks.
That's right. So he's got a little bit more healing.
That reminded me of my Saga game. They abducted and acquired a member of the Thieves Guild, and they had him bound up with ropes, so they just called him Ropes.
There you go. It's tradition now.
Did they show him the ropes?
Oh, they got him killed.
I'm gonna leave.
Oh.
And then when that group was traveling to Hero Rockscale's Dread Plane, they found him on the train to that place, and they let him slip into the void. They just said, "Okay, fucking bye." So, hilarious shit.
That whole arc was hilarious.
Well, yeah, Saga's been fucking great.
We're gonna go to this dread plane. JK.
We're gonna fucking.
We're gonna just chill in the void. Oh wait.
Anyway.
Oh god.
You have him in the vehicle. If there's anything you want to ask him about on the way to Knock, now would be the time.
I don't know.
Let's-
Belroth's a little shooketh.
What's happening in Sifford's Pass?
Well, we were attacked. A couple of folks, including the commander, were defending the town from their assault, and it seemed we had succeeded. But after reports, it seemed they were able to take Sifford's sword from the Curios' home while we were distracted at the gates and at the wall. A very strange assault. The tall one you saw there, she was able to cut through reality, and she would drop the zombies and undead beings right atop of us while we were fighting. She was also in league with Chaos Spawn from the land of Ta. They had an Umber Hulk. They dropped it into the center of town. The heroes fought it, but it burrowed into the under earth. Apparently a corrupt holding cell for some sort of demon there. And they let it free. I assume it was one of those one of those two other demon women that we saw back there. We know that the one, her name is Irith. And he kind of explains that that would be the one with the scythe and the weird sword.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
so Iris, what?
Yeah, well, I just had a thought. I can just show you what their representations kind of look like based on my shenanigans. Hold on. Keep talking. Sorry.
Okay. Irith was the one that was dropped or brought into town by a cane?
No.
No.
Irith attacked.
Oh.
And Akane was
Akane.
or a cane, or he doesn't know that one. He says he doesn't know that one.
She was the tall lady, right?
No, the very first tall lady was Irith.
Oh. Oh, a cane was the one who attacked the other place. Okay.
Landing.
Okay. Yep, landing. Yep. And Irith can cut through reality.
Apparently so, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, getting this right. And then she brought in a cane or a Kane.
Mm-hmm. So this is referential stuff. I use these for miniatures in our real life game I played with these three sisters back on my birthday. I'll get the art eventually, but that's basically what they look like. Just painted slightly different.
Yeah. Nice.
Amazing.
Yeah, creature caster's pretty good stuff.
Hot.
Oops.
Okay. So they brought in an Umberhook from Ta. Do you know what they're doing with the sword?
From what I understand, no, not really. I would say that they want it for its power. It's very potent. It's said to have come from realms far beyond.
That's fair. Do you know what their plans are next?
They took landing and they stopped. We thought that they would go after Rhintier's mine and continue on to Knock. Their forces a decent size, but it looks like they were specifically focused on this pass for some reason.
Do you know why, by chance?
Well, there are a network of tunnels underneath Cypress Pass, back from the days of the Meridian cults. It could be the case that there's something we aren't sure of down there. Unfortunately, we were only made aware of them during Irith's first attack. So, if the people of that town knew that they were there, their tight-lipped nature is unfortunately going to cause problems for everyone in the surrounding region.
Clearly. Would these tunnels, do you know, happen to be connected to the mines?
It could be. I'm not for certain. I know that the Meridians had cities underneath the surface, guarded by magical wards that would protect them from being divined from outside. Could be the case that they've reestablished their cults there. Maybe that has something to do with the reports I've been hearing about Nock having death cult problems.
Oh, the death cults.
It might be the same, I don't know.
They could be. We're trying to figure that out.
Well, you seem capable enough. I just...
I don't know about that.
Or we ran screaming.
Right.
Pretty scary.
Well, you figured out the password of the gate down there.
Yeah, we have our ways.
From what I understand, there are a number of those gates inside of the tunnelways.
Oh, so there's more of those then.
Yes, it seems like a lot of the segments of the underground tunnels are broken up by these portal ways.
Mm.
Does Nock have a military?
It has a couple. Yeah, out of character, it has a couple. You would know, having spent a little bit of time there, you would know that House Serrata is mainly the defense force. They deal with kind of maintaining the forts on the outskirts. Fort Carpenter being their largest in this area. Their very, very largest is Fort Trine to the south. Let's see. There's also House Alistair, which has an honor guard, a complement of somewhere around 5,000 that act as the kind of true executive force. House Alistair is one of the two kind of founding houses. House Rosnald is also one of the founding houses. It too has a pretty decent sized standing army. House Calix is presumed to have forces that defend House Gravesend. Yeah, that's pretty much the main forces that you would know of. There's also, the possibility of drawing in forces from the two kingdoms that are kind of connected to Nock. The Liberus forces and the forces of Munia. Depends on how high scale you want to go. But the closest army you would note would be House Serrata at Fort Carpenter.
Okay. So where can we take you? What's your where's your commanding officer? This all needs to be reported.
My commanding officer, if he didn't die at Siffer's Pass, then he died at landing, and if he didn't die at landing, then he retreated back to the city. So I could report it to Reinteer's mine. I suppose there would be a foreman or a warden present, but in all honesty, the city is probably the best place for this information. And it seems
well, you're from House Serrata, correct?
Yeah, I'm a...
Oh, well, we need to go talk to the warden in Nock anyways. So
I guess that's where we're heading then.
Yeah. We're going to the same place!
I mean, you're
Happy
driving,
to have you
so...
with us, Steve.
My name's not Steve.
What is your name?
My name's Gunther.
Okay,
Aw,
Steve.
Gunther. Hey.
It's not Steve though. I'm not looking at the.
I believe you, Gunther.
He kind of looks at Aveline again, like does a double take and goes, "Weird." The necromancer.
Rude.
The necromancer had 3 just like you. You're an Undaunted, are you not?
Just kind of like looks kind of like avoidant. Like
He kind of gestured at the ball joints, and then he kind of says, "Sorry, apologies. I just, yeah."
What do you mean by necromancer?
There was a necromancer, strange fellow, serving alongside Aerith at the onset of the fight. He brought forth numerous forces of undead, zombies, ghouls, wights, different types. He looked like a younger man, but his hair was kind of wild and white. His skin was kind of pale and pallor. He had very strange goggles on, and a black robe with markings on it. If you had something, I could try and see if I can't replicate them. I can see them in my mind's eye. I just...
Jay, can we borrow your paper and pencil?
He says yes. Looks like he's doing something on the side there. He doodles it out, and the markings that he's kind of writing appear to be kind of arcane markings, which, going back to the Meridian concept, they appear to be cult robes for the Meridians. Kind of reddish color, and I'll post a picture depicting that here in just a second.
I don't suppose you remember his name.
It was never said. Not that I heard, anyways.
Interesting.
Evelyn just kind of like cross-armed and just like kind of confused, like.
Are there any names that you remember that might be important for us to know?
I remember a name being imprinted upon me by the necromancer, but I don't know if it was his or if it was just a command word or something. The binding word of that spell he'd cast on me was Torinor.
Is that recognizable to any of us?
If you'd like
From
to make a history check, you can.
Hold on, Steph. Let me guide you with the balance of nature.
Oh, if she doesn't, if she's the one checking, she doesn't have to roll.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey.
Never mind.
House Torinor was the house that Gulthias was a member of.
Yeah, she doesn't look happy.
Your past is following you.
And you would know that they are a very ancient and very old vampire lineage, dating back all the way to the times of the Crimson Coven in the Third Age.
Steph's expression, like trauma.
That's exactly.
Evelyn shakes.
You would also know that when Hero Rockscale sacrificed himself to become the Dreadlord of the plane that was once ruled by Gulthias at the behest of the Deceiver's assistant, Gulthias was known to have been brought back to life according to the kobold Meepo. When the tree was left to die by the axe being pulled from it, he said that Gulthias' body came back to life and fled.
So wait, is that Gulthias?
I don't know.
Oh! You gotta go kill your buddy.
Again.
Again.
Aveline just like sits down, like takes a seat.
I mean, you're in a seat. We're driving.
What do they call that? A mental
Metaphoric.
seat. A metaphor.
A metaphoric mental seed.
Does she keep all that to herself for now?
Yeah, she'll give the basics about essentially what John said and just kind of like, but not really go into it too much because
She gonna spill the beans about potentially that being Gulthias, because he was blonde and he was pretty pale.
He was I thought he had black hair.
You're black hair.
Oh no, you're right. But he could have white hair now. He was dead at least a couple of times.
He wasn't a weird shit.
Maybe he bleached it.
He didn't have cool goggles.
No,
He didn't.
no
Yeah,
cool
he didn't.
goggles.
He could have acquired some.
Could have acquired some.
Just went full mad scientist.
No way to get goggles. You have to be born with those.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Just
Right.
Don't you remember?
Just in case you forgot what he looked like.
Oh yeah, that boy. Who had blonde hair?
It was that one dude who was
Did-
obsessed with the.
It was the priest or the Hierophant.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah. Okay. Fine.
So, any other questions for the Sentinel? No?
No.
Okay. Yeah, a couple hours pass. You pass by the Erdelast Ranch, and as I mentioned, it's a beautiful, scenic, it's lawn ranch, basically, just off there. Very pretty, very beautiful. Pass by it and head to Knock, and we return back to the city of Knock. I would say now, at this point, with 7 days remaining before the opera, and you probably have about half the day today remaining, or a little less than half today. I would say that you wouldn't be able to commit to a full action, but you can certainly do things upon returning. I would say you'd enter in the south side of the city. And what do you want to do about the Shield Guardian carriage?
We can just kind of keep them.
Is
On the
there a spot
outskirts?
we can just disconnect the cart
Yeah.
from
We can't
on the
make it
outside
a.
of the city and just like
We don't want to make it a permanent thing.
Well, we
it
can't
doesn't
drag it
matter.
through
It's
the
not gonna. We can, but we can't do it right now. Like we should just unhook it and leave it somewhere nearby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
come back with some actual tires for it. You know,
Well-
what I mean?
yeah.
That's the big thing we're
yeah,
missing.
yeah.
Like
Pro tip, what you could do is, since you're at the city and some people can walk, and some people are going to have to walk, like the Shield Guardian, you could have people get out of the back of the auto carriage, put the wheel wagon into the back of the auto carriage and drive it where you want it to be, and then everyone else can kind of walk or take some other form of transportation to where they want to go. Because remember,
I want Copper to carry me in his arms like a baby.
there are other forms of transportation. You can certainly walk. You can take a sky rail. You can take, a trolley. There are canal boats that run throughout the city. There are plenty of options of moving around the city that are. You'd also note that your service is back on, by the way.
Well, we do
Nice.
need to go to House Serrata to
Okay.
talk to the warden.
So that's the goal right off the bat.
I mean, I'd
Yeah,
say so.
yeah,
We gotta take this nice guy that we found, Gunther, back home.
Let's ditch the wagon, throw some leaves on it, and head right to Serrata.
Well, you have a place you can park it. Like, I mean, you can park the auto carriage. Like, you can do that and also make it to House Serrata.
Yes.
You
We can do
don't have to
both.
throw leaves on anything. But
Perfect.
if that's the case, you make it to House Serrata. You've been there before, and you've kind of moved past it before. Belroth, you're definitely familiar with House Serrata. It is the most fortified building in the entirety, and it's actually kind of offset on the map. Do you see the walled kind of dot sections that are there?
Yeah.
That's House Serrata.
Oh my goodness.
It is a very massive fortification with towers, parapets, and all sorts of crazy, artifice that appears to be weapons of war. It's gorgeous, but at the same time, very much deadly. Oh no! What? Why?
Okay.
Ah,
That was trippy.
Okay. Anyways, so yeah, the main gate, entering into it, a couple of guards kind of move to intercept you, and one of them looks to you and says, "Your business with House Serrata." The Sentinel salutes and says, I'm returning to give notice of the fall of Sifrit's Pass and the town of Landing.
And we killed a dragon in your mines.
The guard
holds up the paper.
This information is outside of my capability to assist with. Bear with me one moment as I send an envoy to request a more determined and necessary delegate. The guy
Told to give it to the warden.
Guy next to him runs off. And Steve looks back at you and says, yeah, and it'll be just a second. They're going to go get the warden.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
The guard says, in the meantime, please come with me to a waiting area, and leads you kind of more into the structure proper. You're taken to a kind of a side room, into a nice little kind of sitting room, with a bunch of ribbons on the wall. And when I say ribbons, I don't mean like, fancy ribbons or like, like dressy ribbons. I mean like award ribbons with notices on them, kind of stating names and what they're for. Most of them appear to be kind of certificates of like medals of valor, medals of courage, and other kind of honorifics, kind of set in this room. And based on what you saw throughout the place, a lot of these ribbons were kind of present, wax sealed onto the wall. After about 20 minutes of waiting, the envoy comes back to you, and with him, gentlemen, the fellow you meet here, he is dwarf, bright red hair, very just kind of well kept. He has leather gauntlets on, kind of a green cloak kind of loosely thrown around his neck. It looks like it's kind of bundled in the back instead of flowing out long. And also on his back, you can see a very massive, heavy crossbow, kind of set into a kind of like a carrying case, and a number of bolts kind of set at his waist in a quiver.
I like his style. Aveline should hook him up.
The name is Ritkov Oakhorn. I am the warden that deals with the southwestern areas, which includes Sifrit's Pass and Rhintier's Mine. From what I understand, you are here to report a couple of things. Looks to the Sentinel. Sifrit's Pass has fallen. Warden Oakhorn says, I am already aware. Your full report will be taken. Envoy, take him to a chamber where he can transcribe the information. The Sentinel nods, and the two leave. Oakhorn looks to you. I don't expect that you are the types that will be interested in writing documentation, and there's no contractual obligation that you would, so I will be taking your information and having it dictated. He pulls something out of his bag, sets it out onto the desk, kind of pulls 2 or 3 items out, and you can see that it's kind of a paperweight, a piece of paper, and an ink bottle with a quill in it. He kind of moves the quill around a bit, and then looks to you. Begin. And as he says that, the quill lifts off of the inkwell and starts writing, and it writes the word begin.
Harry Potter shit.
Everything that we speak here will be documented, and you hear the as he's talking. And everything that you report will be taken and dictated as legal documentation. That being said, I am to understand that you dealt with matter at Rhintier's mine. A dragon is what the envoys say?
Yeah, we killed a dragon.
Did the foreman send you with any documentation?
Yes, hands it to him.
Takes it, pulls it out, kind of looks at it. Noted. Mine carts. What did you want with mine carts?
Oh, we got a buddy. He can't fit in our car.
I
Interesting.
was just gonna say.
He's 12 feet.
Transportation.
He's 12 feet tall. He can't help it. He's a tall boy.
He's a big boy.
Bit of dwarven intuition to move your larger compatriots. I respect that. This red dragon, I'm assuming, had some matter of hoard or wealth to it. Am I wrong in this statement?
No, you are not.
You seem to be quite well loaded out magically, from what I can tell. I suppose the Rhintier's mine situation did have a bounty notice of 500 gold pieces. I can award you that. I'll deduct. Sounds like these mine carts were broken according to the foreman's notes. 25 gold pieces apiece off of them just for the steel, I suppose. 450? Out of character note, a bear trap costs 25 gold. So a mine cart, just the steel of it, would probably be the same.
Yeah.
450? Sound fair?
Sure.
Plus all rights and titles to everything you claimed to the dragons.
Yeah.
Perfect. I will make sure that that is dispensed regarding that matter or any other matters, specifically the recovery of our sentinel. I'm assuming that was the case based on his scarring. Can you report anything else? Or would you like to report anything else?
Shall we tell him about the demons?
We probably should.
Okay. Kind of back and forth. You don't have to tell me, because if you're just saying we open the floodgates and say everything, you
Big
see
tall
him
lady.
very kind of focused and interested, but at the same time kind of worried. And they didn't move past landing. They stopped there. Interesting.
That is our understanding.
Yeah, Sifrit's Pass was attacked the better part of a 6 day or so. No, more than that. Quite some time ago. And we'd had reports back from that. A number of refugees from the town arrived here just the other night. So we've been getting our reports back from them as well. It sounds like we're going to have to put forward a request to the 10 to see if we can gather the forces of Nock to move on this place and deal with the problem at hand.
Be very careful. They looked very scary.
I don't know much about demons other than when you kill them, they break apart into a composite form of mist that seems to kind of exit the plane as a whole, which is fine. It's a lot more clean than regular killing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, haven't dealt with a demon in quite some time.
Also, the people in landing were in weird stacked circles. I don't know about that. It's weird. Just be careful.
We've actually been hearing reports of that happening here in the city.
Oh, they're here too.
We've been able to gather a bit of information. I don't think I'm at liberty to share it with you, unless you happen to be members of any of the other houses.
I'm a member of a house, right?
You are
No,
not.
I'm not.
You are.
Oh, wait.
You are a part of the Grey Order, which is allied with Serrata. That is a possible go-to.
Okay.
The Mardigan house is not technically one of the 10, so it's not a house.
Yeah.
I believe Jizo was about to say something regarding Gravesend and Namalia's association with it, which is an absolutely valid option. And Aveline also has a connection here. She could say that she's a part of or an associate of House Harrigan. There are options. Just whoever wants to be the one that...
Everybody know Jai.
Jai don't need a house.
I stood in line
He is
once.
the house.
I stood in in line once and got a license at House Harrigan. I've got to count for
I don't-
something.
I don't think you
Some
told me
guys
their
there will
names.
remember me.
What,
I
House
was-
Harrigan?
Yeah, I was trying to remember like what they were called, but I'm.
House Calibor.
Oh, it's not House Calibor. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah,
wrong
yeah.
one. House Calibor is the one that you're affiliated with.
Yeah.
Because wizards.
Well, we could just say all of them. Not all of them. I mean, like the ones that we are actually associated with.
Oh, not Sin.
Well, I think at least Balroth and Namalia for sure, and also Aveline would share our associations.
Yeah. We just make pretty jewelry.
Well, I am aware of an effort by House Gravesend to deal with this matter, so that does stand as a reasonable means of exchanging information. I will tell you this then. The cultists seem to be focused mainly in the Steel District. A number of cult houses have been unearthed. One was underneath a relatively popular tavern around here called the Crystallis. I don't know why its name is all the way down here at the bottom of the map, but there it goes. The Crystallis. There was a number of conflicts that happened there, and finally the Town Watch decided to take a look deeper into the matter, and underneath was a now defunct death cult with some very strange goings on. Your description of what happened out there in the field was very similar to what they had here, except that they had nailed bodies to the wall in a similar pattern and cut off their heads so that there was an open space in the center with this symbol. And he reaches over to the parchment and draws on it, kind of turns it to face you. The symbol in question, I don't have my hand out. I'm such a bad DM.
Oh, bad. Also check the positioning of people.
Oh.
Zach and Zizo are swapped.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Brent.
Oh, hey, Brent. I know that guy.
He's cool.
Gino and Zach. Switching places. Oh, no, that's not it.
Don't do that yet.
No. Wait, yes. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
And it should be fixed. Okay. So, the symbol that he draws is a spiral symbol. It's basically 6 kind of markings into a center circle. I know I've got it somewhere around here. Bear with me. No, don't bear with me. Keep talking.
Well, that's a weird symbol.
Yes, we really haven't had anybody from the Magic District or the library take a look at it yet, unfortunately. So we aren't terribly sure what it means. We have seen the symbol before. It's called an Atma, but we don't know exactly what it means contextually.
Right. We should definitely probably figure out what that is. You've only seen, how many times have you seen it?
Warring or small warring bands from Taw, from the Wild Marches, all different types of tribal creatures will wear this symbol. But we don't know why. For the most part, they just say it's related to their god, which is not a real god.
I mean,
there are 3 real gods, only 3. The rest are all saints and powers beneath. Well, that's at least what I was
Sin doesn't deal with that religious stuff.
That's fair.
Not our thing. But cool. So they're mostly been in the Steel District. Would that?
Yeah, that's what we've been. About 6 of them have popped up as of late.
6 cults or 6 cultists?
Cults. Yeah, we've only had to fight 3 of them. I believe the current lead expert on the matter is an individual out of... What house were they a part of? House Noman. Woman named Maluriel. Maluriel Stationadal.
Oh man, I don't know if we should mention fuckery going on at the ballet.
The opera.
The opera. Because we have our own business at the opera, right?
Yeah. Well, we have to find the dude.
The dude.
With the mask.
Do we think something demonic could break out at the opera?
I mean, potentially. They might want to...
Well, out of
Well, it's
character note,
about
real
the
quick.
demons.
The opera is about the demons, but the situation so far as to say there is not exactly attached to the attack at Siffer's Pass. Remember, you're trying to meet up with Ekstrom at the opera because he is related to the Ashuna and the Lady Montoulet situation.
Right.
But didn't we run into the demons that the play is about?
Yeah, you sure did.
Yeah.
I mean...
But is it just about them?
Well,
we don't know, right?
Well, we told him that we met these specific demons, right?
Yes.
We reported that. Okay, well, that's good enough, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he wouldn't bring up like, oh, that's what because he doesn't seem to be high culture, and probably he doesn't even know that that's the thing.
Okay, then Nemalia would want to bring it up.
Okay. This is interesting. Well,
just to keep an eye on it.
I'll send over one of my fellow wardens to investigate that. Maybe they can ask some questions about the opera. Might have something to do with it, might not. If they are who they say they are, or they are who you say they are, then that's very important. Those are very powerful beings that unfortunately are in our neck of the woods. Then the more knowledge we have about them, the better, I suppose.
And your soldier has been through a lot of very disturbing circumstances. I hope that you all will take care of him.
I could see it on him. That's why I put him to the dictation duty. It's very, very light tasking for a sentinel such as himself. He'll probably be at it for the next 3 or 4 days, making sure all the details are correct. But fortunately, no one's over his shoulder, focusing on him, trying to force him to take the notes at his leisure, even though the rules state that it needs to be done as quickly as possible. And he kind of looks at you and says, "One moment. Strike, strike, strike," he says to the paper as it cuts away all the things he just said. Remove that from the record. Strike. So, if there's anything else that you would like to discuss regarding reporting or what you've seen, absolutely. You are in House Serrata's favor here with this matter, and please report to House Graves and your competency. If they have any questions for us, we're absolutely happy to give a referral on your duties here. Oh, I found a kind of version of the symbol. Bear with. Show to players. So it's the thing in the black circle.
Hasn't popped. For me.
Oh wait, I got it now.
Yeah.
I'll click it one more time for you.
Oh, the thing in the center.
Pay no attention to the axe or anything. That's a symbol of the orc god.
Yeah, that's not nefarious.
So it's similar to that.
The Atma is that red, like,
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Great.
Oh, and I actually had a handout the whole time for Red Cobb. Only he doesn't have traveling gear.
Oh, look at him. That's a nice crossbow.
Here's business.
Does it have infinite arrows? No. Nope.
No, but it has a name.
Oh.
Adness.
Aw.
Cute.
That's cute.
So yeah, I mean, Namalia has nothing further to report.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah, if your business is done with Master Oakhorn, or Warden's Oakhorn, you can head out of Serrata. By the time you're done kind of doing the reports and stuff, and dealing with all of that, it would probably be closer to evening time. What with you having kind of, dealt with the Siffert's Pass stuff in the morning and then traveled, it's probably closer to like, 4 or 5 o'clock. What would you like to do with the rest of your day/evening?
I need a drink.
Plenty of places to go. Jai would probably be the best one to...
Oh shit! It's about to be a party.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What kind of a drink?
Carrie says, Oi, I've got a thing to do. Oh, I got to do a thing that I'm doing. What? I got to do it.
I've got to leave the party,
have
innit?
Is that even the right accent?
You nailed it. I got to leave the party, innit? Innit?
Governor.
Governor?
He's already been hitting the bottle.
I'll be completely honest. Every time they do the accent, it's wrong. So
Perfect.
So this,
Sorry.
John, can you remind me? This is where Namalia would go to like meet up with her people, right? Like
no
somewhere
Gravesend.
here
Up north.
But didn't I have a house here? Somewhere
No.
here? It was
No.
over here.
So that center portion is the two most richest houses. House Alistair and House Rosnald, which, if you remember the story of Nock, it was basically a force of Liberus and a force of Munio that were fighting at this common ground, this border territory between the two. And what had happened is instead of killing themselves at the end, the two soldiers at the end decided instead to make a city. And that's what this is. Nock is 500 plus years, or about 500 years of just these two soldiers coming together and creating peace.
So this is where I was gathering lichen, right? And then I had to report it to Alistair or Gravesend?
You were doing so in the Green District, and
over here.
The Green District doesn't look green. You can see a couple of little patches of trees there and such.
Oh my gosh.
But all the buildings there are made out of mycelium. The mushrooms, and everything's covered with like ivies and lichen and all sorts of shit. It's called the Green District for a reason.
Okay, so
Namalia... everything's edible.
Everything is edible, yeah.
Everything is edible.
Even I'm edible. No, sorry.
But do the schnozberries taste like schnozberries?
They do.
Right.
They actually do.
So Namalia would break away, give everyone a toodaloo, and go to Gravesend to report everything that she's learned.
Okay.
And then probably hunker down for the evening.
Sounds good. And of course, remember, everyone with the exception of Aveline is able to communicate with one another with no problem, because you bought the got the 5-year plan.
Aveline, you should probably buy a pager. If you get a second.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, leave that going. So if you do want to go through the marketplaces, there are a number of them. Most of them are in the Golden District, in the Magic District. And you can certainly try and find yourself a what did I call it? Callstone.
Calling stone.
Yeah.
A calling stone basically acts like a sending stone, except that it can be connected to other people's more than just one, and it can be used basically unlimitedly for communication within the city. So you can basically call whoever you want and have a conversation with them.
Oh, we need to find that one lady.
250 gold for a calling stone if you've got it.
See, I don't know how much money I have.
Probably not much.
Lots.
I mean, you got what we split
The
last
dragon
week.
horde.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got
I'm a little bit short.
Yeah, I believe the joke of the money back in the day was Sen had it all. And then the joke for me at the beginning of this game was everyone's trying to find Sen and might become guests to the game because they
I'll
want
buy
their
you
money
one.
back.
Yeah.
Sin, can you buy me one of those?
Yeah, you should have enough money because there was 364 gold in there.
150 is all she has listed on her sheet.
Why?
I don't know. Nobody told
What'd
me.
you spend all the dragon horde on?
Oh,
I thought that's what I got.
No. You can either get 11 platinum. It was split. You can either do the 11 platinum, 119 gold, 130 or 1,386 silver, 3 copper, or 11 platinum, 254 gold, 6 silver, 3 copper.
Oh, I only took the gold.
No, you take like one of those whole columns, just one column. I almost split everything into just copper.
Okay.
Just because I hate myself.
So I need to figure out how much money I have.
Yeah, so if you only added the 119 gold, also add the 11 platinum.
Okay.
And the 1,386 silver and 3 copper.
1,386.
Yeah, so
And then-
silver and then 3 copper.
Okay. Well then, how many platinums do I need to spend for a phone? Oh wait, no, how many gold
25.
was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, 119. Okay, so 150 plus 119 is 2.
Or Sen can just buy you one. They owe you.
Sin.
I don't
like
know
pulling on
money.
her sleeve.
I don't know money. Yeah,
I
I'll get
never
it.
had to deal with money.
I got you. Because technically, I don't think that we actually went through that, but the rest of the money that Sin took from you is actually in stonks.
Stonks.
It's in stonks.
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so
So I'm taking that out of my.
as they
You
talk
said
about
250 gold.
boring math, Belroth, you are heading where for the evening to take the ground?
Probably back to the guild house, I guess. Like back to the Grey Wardens.
Yeah, that works. And Jai, where are you going to go ahead and rest for the evening?
I was waiting to see what kind of a drink we were getting before I decided exactly where.
Oh,
I was
yeah, if
gonna
we're going
end
drinking,
my
I'm doing
night.
that and then sleeping.
Well, I kind of wanted to swing by House Calibor,
Okay.
but then I'm
And-
down to party.
So House Calibor is in the Golden District. Actually, no, sorry.
Sorry.
House Calibor
Me
is
and Belroth could kill a bottle in the street.
House,
Yeah!
House Calibor
Crouch
is in
down.
the Magic District. It's actually, let me double check.
Oh, she bougie.
For some reason, the nonsense has disappeared from where they were supposed to be.
Oh no.
The glitch in the Matrix.
Oh god.
Whoa, that
Oh,
was
God.
freaky.
What was that?
What happened?
You
There was
just
green.
like-
What happened?
Like the
You
curtain
were green, and then
was
behind you was
lifted.
green.
Saw the curtain behind the man for a
Behind
moment,
the man.
and it was
behind the man,
terrifying.
sis. Yes.
No.
You could say you just flashed us.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
I'm glad I wasn't wearing. So I've got two of
The
these
man
green
in front of the curtain.
I've got two of the green turtlenecks, and during whatever game I ran last, like I had spilled a whole bunch of stuff pre-game all over it. So like
Oh no.
if it had shown, it would have been like just disgusting. Like it was so bad. Like my wife was like, "Oh my god, that thing smells so terrible."
Hilarious.
John.
Poor
I
Laura.
never told her why it smelled bad, but now she probably knows.
But now the
Exposed.
internet knows
Oh,
forever.
she doesn't watch this, so I just think
It's
she
okay.
overheard.
Someone clip this.
I'll send it to her. No, I'll just tell her over Korean barbecue.
House Calibur is located in the northern half of the Golden District. I was right the first time.
Oh, okay.
So this one here.
The northern half of the Golden District.
Wow.
Can you click it again?
1 second. Why is my stuff not working? Now it should be labeled.
This one?
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, let's put it this way. But yeah, that's where I want to go.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, you make your way over that way. All right, cool. And presumably, possibly, going to ground there. Okay, great. Jai, you said you're going drinking. Belroth in tow. Sweet Misery is pretty much the place that you kind of go to, like that's your main go-to. Or if you'd like, you can go, anywhere else. Presume that everywhere there's possibly a tavern, and you can make one up just like you did the Sweet Misery. And I'll make an icon for it on the map. The living city in that way.
No, we'll go back to my usual spot
Huh.
tonight.
The
I don't
old
need to
watering
find-
hole.
Yeah, I don't need to find anywhere new unless like we were going out and somebody was looking for something different.
Doesn't seem like that's the case.
But nah, we've been out traveling. Let's go somewhere we know is going to be good.
Okay.
I almost got seduced by a demon. He's
Um,
good. He just wants to drink.
Sen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they going drinking.
Drinking.
Drank.
And
And then home.
yeah, and if I recall correctly, we had decided that you lived in the Steel District. We never came up with a location for that, so I just went ahead and Sen's house.
Yay.
Great. Okay, so if you're going with them to go drinking at the Sweet Misery, we'll deal with you folks here in a second. We'll deal with Namalia first. You enter into the saculum of the Great Tree. Kind of make your way in. You would see that the wardens therein are ever present, and their sentinels as well. And no one really kind of messes with you or addresses you, but if you'd like to kind of get someone's attention to report or do anything like that, you may.
Yeah, Namalia would like to kind of find the most senior person that she has access to.
Okay. Absolutely not a problem. You would know that after some baby stuff, it's always the case with you. You're bad. He hates the new longer game. You want short game.
Stinky.
So the thing I was saying, oh right, it's so the person that you would know that kind of becomes like a main contact. Before it was the Vidalkin I had mentioned.
Nuada.
But more commonly, an individual named Nevik Greenbottle has been kind of acting as the kind of go-to contact person inside of Gravesend. Nuada is more of a like a officiate, someone who actually deals with like pressing matters, whereas Nevik is kind of like a individual who deals with tending, but also deals with like the efforts and goals of House Gravesend immediately. You find him. Himalaya?
Hi, Nevik. So I just wanted to tell you about a trip I had. It's a long story, so let me get into it. And she would talk about the journey out to past Richter's mine, into the landing and what happened and the demons and the death cults and the opera. Not going into our like private business related to the opera, just that it's like a weird coincidence that these demons are active and the opera's about them, and the tunnels, everything that we learned.
As you're kind of talking to him about it, as you're sitting there, you do see a creature kind of walk over. It's kind of like a mushroom creature, probably about 3.5 foot tall. That's kind of
Blemigan. Oh, sorry.
Walks over to you as you two are talking, and as you kind of sit and start going over the conversation with Nevik, you can see that its hat, it is a mushroom, but it has a hat on. The hat appears to be like a tray kind of set on top of its head, and it makes you two tea as you're talking. And Nevik kind of nods. You would note that the Myconid actually, as a part of the process, like emits spores to kind of like push forward a pheromone to you to kind of get your idea as to how you want the tea, and you can feel spore communication between you and the Myconid that's basically pheromone based. And basically what the tea is served to you, it's exactly what you were wanting at that moment. And then it kind of seems kind of like, happy to receive you and listen to the story. And then as you kind of go into the details, I'm assuming about the three sisters, you can see his face kind of like very quickly become more serious and focused. He doesn't ask any questions to interrupt, and he doesn't really kind of, it doesn't seem, it seems like he's just allowing the information to flow from you. But once you kind of get to the terminus of the story and kind of end it, leaving it hanging, Nevik nods. This is very serious indeed. We have heard reports that there are some troubles up north of Nock, at a place known as Nightfang Pass. Apparently there's been a rousing of forces up that way. We also heard disturbing reports more recently that the entirety of the town of Hallerton was sacked and destroyed, and all of its residents were said to have gone missing. Their bodies gone. If what you're saying happens to be the case, it might be connected. Perhaps your necromancer happens to have been up that way as well. Although I don't know why they'd be gathering a force just to take Sifrit's Pass. If you have more allegiance, or if you have more association with House Serrata, it might be in your best interest to learn as much as you can about the pass. We do have some operatives on the opposite side of the pass in the Breve Enclave who might be of assistance. If you do make your way to that place beyond, or into the land of Ta, you might want to reach out to... He kind of takes a second, kind of scratching his bearded chin. Oh, sorry, and I forgot to mention, he's a halfling. I don't know if you got that, sorry, from this picture. He kind of looks at his, kind of scratches his chin thinking, and says, you could reach out to... The contact in house, or in the Breve Enclave is... You could reach out to Milena. She is a human swordsman who has taken to learning from the Hariv blade singers. She is a known associate of House Gravesend, more in line with House Calix, but again, we are technically separate, but we are more operatively the same. Milena. If you make it to the lands beyond, I know that there are a couple of scouts out there for House Gravesend. A Tegan, I believe, is a scout operating in that area.
Okay. And Night Fang Pass is to the north of us.
Yeah. And you actually kind of stop for a second as you feel like a communication link kind of forming from the Myconid and from him. And it feels like what's happening here is he is relaying a thought to you through the Myconid. The spores are transponding an image to you. And after the course of 2 efforts, he sends you the images of what the 2 people he had mentioned look like. They kind of
perfect.
fall into your head, so you will know them on sight. And I will get you those handouts here in a second.
Beautiful.
It sounded like you had a follow-up, though.
Night Fang Pass. That's to the north of Nock?
Night Fang Pass is to the north of Nock. It's just up the divide from Onamouth. It is said to be a location of great imports to earlier worshippers of the Montoulet tradition. I would say that is of no real interest, as the pass doesn't really lead out to anything. There are other passes that serve better, but I know that there is a tower inside of the pass that operates as it used to operate as a survey location.
Okay. And how about Hallerton? Would that be on a map?
It is
Okay.
just across the divide from Night Fang Pass. It's a small town, nothing more than maybe 100 or 200 people, and it's close to some old ruins up in the Argenti. I would say be mindful of the people of Argenti if you do end up in that area. They are very guarded and isolationist. They don't exactly like people they don't know entering their town.
Great.
Oh, cute.
Sounds like a friendly bunch.
They're very territorial.
Okay, so I think that's it. I think Namalia has been sufficiently traumatized for one day. She's gonna go to bed and be up early in the morning to get some errands done.
Sounds good. And then Stephanie, you had said you headed to House Calibor.
Yeah.
You walk back in, and you've seen a lot of people come. You've seen a lot of people in your time here. A lot of them are kind of looking at you in awe, and a couple of the mages who were responsible for your exit from this place the last time you were here kind of rush over to you and start kind of like pulling out calipers and magnifying glasses, kind of looking at you, inspecting. And the lead one says, "Did you have a safe landing?"
Yeah, it was a little rough, but I landed in one piece.
But the cannon worked.
Yes.
Perfect. Well, once we figure out your secrets, we'll be able to send armies anywhere. Deploy them to defend any threats that sail Nock. This is perfect. Serrata will be very pleased.
About that, if you might be interested, we just came back from an expedition of sorts, and basically tell him that we kind of learned about like some kind of necromancer who also has a construct similar to me.
So that's the main thing that you focus on. You don't give them the whole spiel?
No, just like tell them that.
Okay. Interesting. From our records and our notes, you were created hundreds of years ago by a very powerful artificer, Gothias Torinor, vampire king of the lands to the west, near the Wild Watchers, the Bitter Heart Vale, I believe. It's interesting. If they were able to find or replicate Undaunted such as yourself, that's very, very troubling news to be sure. What do you know of this necromancer?
We know vaguely what he looks like, but that's about it.
Vaguely what he looks like. Well, that's not much help, but it's interesting. You give him the details on what he looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Not terribly familiar with people with goggles and crazy hair, but well, I suppose if we see him, we'll know him. It doesn't help much either. Well, anyways, the point is that you were successful landing, successful firing, no problems, no breakage, nothing.
Just kind of like take out of my bag, just dump out what's left of Piddlewick.
Oh, the boy. That's so sad. Well, do you want us to try and put him back together?
If you can, it would be nice, but or you can let him rest. It's up to you.
Well, we'll do what we can. No promises. But Copper's fine. Took the landing just well.
Yeah. Ready.
Perfect. Well then, I suppose if you're wanting to rest or whatever, you can do so here. And if you need any of our laboratories for any processes that you'd be engaging in, that's fine as well. But as always, you're welcome here. If we need you for our own experiments, we will call out to you.
Sounds good. She just kind of like starts making herself at home, basically.
About an hour and a half after that, like during that time that you're trying to relax and everything, you're kind of used to this, but it's still happening. Throughout the whole process, these people are kind of like, still like checking measurements on you, checking details, asking you to kind of like, lift this like sleeve, inspect this portion, and they're just very kind of focused on your condition after being launched out of a cannon across the region. You can see some are kind of like taking samples off of you, and you can see that they're kind of pulling like residuum dust off of the cannon shot, because you're familiar with firearms and ignition enough to realize residue would have been left, and they're very focused on like the aftermath. An hour 30 minutes worth of time spent just checking. But again, this isn't the first time they've bugged you with these kind of things, so you're kind of used to it. It's just these people are very, very focused on the task at hand. But yeah, you rest and relax. The drinkers, you make it to the Sweet Misery. It's as it was last time you were here. And pretty quiet.
Great.
Squirt bottle.
Oh no.
Anything that you're wanting to do in particular, like anything specific?
I don't think so. I don't think we need to actually RP this out.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah.
Then we'll go ahead and fast forward it out to the next day. Let me know how that goes, and I'll go ahead and change the music up. Actually, I'm going to find a swordswoman, and then I'm going to change it. But yeah, continue with your next day. What are you doing?
Breakfast with Dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he doesn't seem to have much to say. Nothing new anyways. I mean, he does, of course, try and get as much information about what you've been doing and what you've been up to. And you obviously are guarded.
Vague details. Hey, I'm not a thief, though. That's what matters. I was gonna ask the group, do we want to sell the lapis that we got from the dragon horde and the lapis ornaments and the jade statues so that we can split that moolah?
Yep. Sounds good.
Okay, then that's what Sin will do after breakfast. So the 5 mare gold and jade statues and 7 Harif lapis lazuli ornaments.
Okay.
Are they all in my bag of holding? Are we just or do we have another way of transporting them?
Oh,
It's a lot of statues.
it is. And I don't know how big they are.
Because if they're all in my bag of holding, I'm like happy to go with you while you sell them, so you don't need to like carry around a bunch of fucking priceless statues while you try and hunt them.
I mean, they are worth 2,500 each. So.
Yeah, so Belroth can go with too. It's kind of like, oh god, Belroth can go with to kind of be muscle, I guess, and right,
intimidation,
right.
So you want to buy these, right, Belroth? You want to buy these,
right? Yeah, exactly. And in the meantime, he's also looking for like a little bit better armor.
If you are intending on selling the jewelry and the statues and stuff, they sell at cost, so you are able to get 100% of their worth.
Sweet.
Well,
let me do math.
And
I should have done this ahead of time.
When you tell Chris about it, I'm sure he's going to have a bit where Terry's really annoyed. And he's like,
I could have sold them for more, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Governor.
Okay. Y'all can continue while I do math.
If you're looking for armor.
Sorry, actually, I forgot a thing. When you exit your house, Sen, just there, kind of almost as if the person was waiting for you, you see a fellow. He is very clearly a Mardigan, someone you would know. He's not the lead fellow, but he is kind of somewhat of importance. His name is Alec, and you would know he's kind of like a he's probably the one that gathered the information for the beached kraken job, so you kind of know him slightly.
Okay.
And it looks like he's just been waiting for you to kind of exit your house, but at a respectful distance, so he probably wouldn't have been noticed.
Yeah. Sin's annoyed that they know where they live. But they'd notice him and approach him. Got a job or something?
No, it's just checking in on something with you. We wanted to let you know that the riches from the last job that you did have come in. We've got most of it sold off the beach. And basically, whenever you want to, you can stop by the house and pick up your cut.
Oh, okay.
And out of character, if you don't recall, the agreement was that your friends would get paid a specific set amount, as would you, but you would also receive the finder's fee of 10% on the worth of that acquisition.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I'll stop by when I can. I have a few things to do this morning, but...
Of course, no problem. Whenever you want to. I'm pretty sure that Padre is going to probably try and talk you into investing, so just be wary.
I mean, wouldn't be the first time.
You go and sell the items, and we've got a day here. This is day 6.
Yep.
Or 6 more days after this. What would you like to do. If you have any actions that you want to commit to for the day, certainly that is an option. If you aren't familiar with your available options, I will send that link out again. But if you are and you have an idea of what you want to do, what do you want to do? I said I was going to change the music, and I'm gonna.
Oh, this one splits evenly. Thank you, John.
Yeah, I didn't do it on purpose.
Well,
It's
thank you
way
anyways.
fun.
Just take it. Just take it.
It's way funnier when it's
there's decimal points and I have to go, oh God, how do I do decimals?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Flashbacks from the war. And by war, I mean high school. And
Well, I
part
think
of college.
Balroth and Jay wanted to shop.
Yeah. Okay. And when you shop, like if you're just buying something that you have available as an option, that's fine. The actual action shop is more kind of like searching for something specific. So if like you're looking for a specific magic item or something, that's what takes time. The hunting the marketplace is for that. So if there's something that you want, that's what the shop cultivate resources action takes. And does. If you're just buying stuff out of the player's handbook or anything, that's fine. You can do that. That doesn't take time.
Is upgrading a thing? Could Amalia upgrade her moonsicle from +1 to +2?
No, it's not a thing.
So I have to buy a +2.
If one exists, yeah.
If one exists. Could I shop for that?
Let's see. Let me help you here. There are +2 and +3 moonsicles. Moonsicle +2 is a rare magic item. I can guarantee that a +3 won't be present. Yeah, very rare. But a rare is possible. Yeah, if you want to shop for a rare magic item, you can. Now, for uncommon magic items, everything is presumed to be in Nock, because Nock is a just big city. Rare magic items are, by definition, rare. So go ahead and roll a percentile dice. If you roll lower than 50, then it is not available. I'm sorry, lower than 25 for rare. It is not available. And if you roll over 20, yep, you're good. Okay, so there is a +2 moonsicle.
Wait, I think I just rolled.
Oh.
I forgot the D.
Still really high. So you would be able to find a moonsicle that is on offer. The moonsicle in question is a rare magic item, so its cost is 2,000 gold pieces.
Yeah, I'm buying it.
Okay. Do you want to trade your old one in?
Yeah.
Okay. They offer you 150. And when it comes to shopping and buying, these are haggleable things if you want to try and persuade up or down.
I don't have persuasion trained.
Can I still attempt it? Yeah, anybody can haggle. Some people are naturals.
Wow.
You're not.
Namalia's like, I'll throw in a some of my face balm.
Yeah.
It's great quality.
I'm gonna say that the face bomb thing is for advantage, but the roll is still not good enough to get any change. So
no. The face balm was for the 2.
Yeah.
Right, she opens it up and that 2
got the
comes from the
haggling
smell that comes out of that fucking bomb.
So
yeah.
They would stick to their guns on this.
It's
at 150.
Oh, but it's shrimp scented. Doesn't everyone love shrimp scent?
I think Belroth actually likes the shrimp scent.
The person you're speaking to could have visibly retches. 150 and be gone.
Amalia just kind of goes, okay, your loss. And she gets up out of there with her new moon sickle.
Okay. Yeah, very much more potent in the powers of the moon. And you can feel kind of a closer attachment to Shaethia and the natural world. Perfect. And then, Jai, you said you were shopping as well?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for armor.
What kind of armor?
Right now, I'm just in plain leather armor.
Okay.
So
I think I can bard.
Go...
What's your?
I think I can only do light armor if I'm correct.
Bard.
Yeah, that's my only armor proficiency.
Okay. So studded is probably the best bet. But you could also do mithril, I think. Let me double check mithril armor. No. You still have to be proficient with
Yeah, it says medium or heavy, but not hide.
Yeah. Let's see.
Can I do +1 studded though? Can I do the same thing?
Yeah, studded leather plus a studded leather +1 is an uncommon. No, it's rare. Oh yeah, that's right. So roll a D100, and if it's 25 or less, no go, and if it's higher than 25, you found it. No whammies.
Oh my god. Hold on. There we go.
You're good. Yeah, you find a suit of studded leather armor.
Studded. How much?
It's gonna be 2,000.
I don't think that stew will taste very good.
Oh shit. I don't know if I have enough actually.
How much?
2,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 2,375
Oh.
gold for that split, so you got enough. You can
Yeah,
get you
okay.
some new armor,
Cool.
buddy.
Then I'm only taking 300 of that split. Sweet.
All right. So that's your activity for the day, searching the markets for studded armor. And then Belroth, what about your activity for the day?
I am looking for some better heavy armor, so like plate, but am I able to find mithril plate?
So, mithril plate, mithril armor is rare, I believe. No, uncommon. Yeah. Are you sure you want mithril though?
I don't know.
Mithril's. I don't think it actually comes. I don't think it does anything good besides it will. It doesn't impose disadvantage on stealth checks.
Yeah.
Nor does it have a strength requirement like regular armor would.
Yeah, it's only a changer or a breastplate that you can turn into that. You're better off going for some kind of plate.
If you're going for an uncommon magic item armor that gives you a benefit, I would suggest adamantine armor. Adamantine armor makes you immune to critical hits.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to die.
It's an uncommon magic item, so finding adamantine armor is easy enough. However, plate armor is still plate armor, which imposes its own cost, which I believe plate's 1,800.
Total?
Plate just normal without being magical. 1,500. So the cost of adamantine plate is 2,000 gold pieces.
Yeah.
Even though it's uncommon.
I can do that.
Okay. Shopping as well. Good.
Yeah. And then can I sell off my chainmail?
Yeah, selling's fine. I typically allow sell shop to kind of work together. But the chainmail's just normal?
Yeah.
Okay. So 20 gold pieces for the chainmail, sorry. 25 gold pieces. If you're not
that's fine.
Okay.
It's been kind of beat to shit, so I guess that's kind of fair.
Okay. Sen, your action for the day? selling was a part of it, but if you also want to shop, you can.
No shopping.
Okay.
Probably just go talk to the Mardigans about the stuff.
Okay. Getting close to the wire, so we'll do it at the beginning of next session. And Abilene, last but not least, you have options for actions that you can take. Is there anything that you'd want to do during the day?
Just kind of wanted to stroll around and explore the city and see if there's anything interesting going on.
Okay, so generally carousing. Okay, yeah, not a problem. Go ahead and roll a D100.
Oh boy. 28.
Okay, so as you're kind of meandering about the town, you do happen to kind of stumble through the Golden District and end up outside of House Montoulay, which, if you recall, was the house that Melissa Montoulay was part of. It's a very nice house, but it very much looks like a massive church compared to what you've seen of the other kind of larger houses. And you'd also notice that all of the buildings around it appear to have kind of noble symbols, like old heraldic kind of symbols. And some of them are kind of taking you back because you're recognizing them from, older times. And looking at House Montoulay's symbol, you realize too that it is strangely familiar. House Toranor's family symbol was and is a raven, black on a red field. House Montoulay, not terribly similar in that regard as to what it's depicting. It is a yellow flower on a blue, a yellow flower on a blue field. But the way that the symbol is kind of placed in its heraldry is different than the other houses that you've noticed. And it's very similar to the old Bitterheart style of kind of forming a heraldic icon. Whereas they kind of place it on a very specific shaped shield. These are on different, the two that are in your mind are on different shields. And I'll have a handout for that next week. But you also notice that one of the houses that's present in Montoulay is House Toranor, but the colors are reversed. So it's a red hawk or a raven on a black field.
I'm interested in that, but I don't know how to.
If you ask about, and just kind of get some information, just generally ask, you would learn that is House DeLucas. They are said to come from the northern lands. According to them, a town called Lucas.
Oh, well,
that's the name.
Naturally.
But you're not able to get much more than that. But yeah, definitely food for thought or something to keep kind of in your notes as a point of interest possibly later. And yeah, we'll begin next session with Sen at the Mardigan house, discussing payoffs, or I'll just do that on the side since it's just me handing you money. This is the third day, so there will be 5 days after this, and then that next day will be the opera day. So if you want, in character stuff, if you want to do a day by day, beat for beat understanding of what you want to do, kind of moving throughout that downtime, absolutely. And if you have any questions about any of the downtime activities, please let me know and I will help you through it. Some of the examples were kind of left blank, and some of the stuff wasn't fully detailed, but I do have it in my head as to how it works. I just am still working at getting pen to paper. If you want to know a person, if you want to do anything in that downtime, absolutely. If you want to learn more about the opera house, again, just post in the side chat and we'll work through those 5 days and get to the start of the opera shenanigans next week. Thanks for watching that did, and we're going to go ahead and end the stream.
Bye.
Ciao.